Dr. Morse here, and I want to thank you for viewing our videos. We really do appreciate it. I think that we'll make a significant change in the world from this antiquated treatment-based thinking of diseases which doesn't exist to the reality of what exists. And I do appreciate those that view these videos that are thinking for themselves and going beyond these ridiculous ideas and understanding the causative factors. I've got a lot of videos I'm going to make that I'm going to address many subjects. I've had 40 years here in clinical work and working with several 100,000 people in my life, and we have really never failed in getting someone well. There's some that just can't do the programs and stuff, but and ultimately we have a few of the extreme cancer cases that have had a lot of chemo and radiation that the MDs literally just destroyed their bodies, and hard for them to stay in them when they're that destroyed. But even those, we saved a lot of them. A couple of questions that have come across the board here, and I want to answer them as timely as I can. I apologize if I don't get to them. One question was on Candida and sugar. It is true that Candida is part of the fungal family. And the fungal family is a family of microbes that deal with fermentation. So when you don't metabolize your sugars properly, fermentation is the result. It's kind of like if you look at fruit and you buy green fruit, which is kind of a crime. But in this country, we have a poor growth and quality of food production, if you will. But you take a pineapple. When you buy a green pineapple, the only way it truly ripens is by fermentation. It never has that sweet, pop all over your face, feeling good type of flavor. Banana is the only food that you can pick green that ripens nutritively. A 3-doctorate professor from Canada told me that banana was his life study, and he considered it nature's perfect food. So I consider it the meat of the fruit kingdom. Now, Candida. Adrenal glands, they sit on top of your kidneys, and get very familiar with your kidneys and adrenal glands. There's not a lot of glands and organs in your body, and it's not difficult if you start and just take one or two and research it, understand its location, and start understanding your body more. Not difficult. In my book, I have a whole section on anatomy and physiology. Helps you to understand your body more. But the adrenal glands produces a cortical-type steroid called cortisol. And cortisol controls sugar metabolism. When one has weak adrenal glands, and I will say this, probably anyone below 50 definitely has weak adrenal glands. The younger you are, the weaker they are, to be honest with you. We have very serious adrenal gland problems in the young. This is why we see so many neurological conditions, because the adrenal glands produces your steroids and your neurotransmitters for the autonomic nervous system. Your autonomic nervous system is located right here in the solar plexus, and I think I did a video on that system showing you what happens when you go under anesthesia or you have a neurotoxin like a vaccine or pesticides or herbicides, how it can shut down that nervous system and literally shut down the different functions of your body, including breathing. However, Candida is again a yeast or fungus that develops in the body, mainly from man's eating of grains and the inability of man to break down these sugars. Somebody thought grains were the greatest food since I don't know what. I had health food stores in the late 60s, and I actually had a grain mill. And I would make you grains. Even my old friend Dr. Jensen, back in his Health Valley Ranch, served whole grain products and things. Well, we didn't realize they were acidic and polysaccharides, meaning a lot of sugar. These type of sugars, man just can't do anymore. They make you fat. We give them to cattle and hogs to fatten them up for market. You got to stay away from the polysaccharides. Simple sugars of glucose, fructose, which is fruit sugar, glucose is vegetable sugar, galactose is milk sugar. Of all the sugars, the fructose is the best. If you're looking at fungus, think of mold. And if you put a piece of bread on your kitchen counter, a piece of cheese, and you put a handful of grapes, which one grows mold on it first? It's not going to be the fruit. it's going to be the bread or the cheese because they're already fermented foods. And that's what mold or fungus that family's involved in. If you have Candida fungal problems, which most of us do to a certain degree, use the parasitic formulas that we make or somebody makes and go after the fungus overgrowth in your body with botanicals, herbs. Safest, don't use colloidal silver. That's unbalancing body chemistry. And as you can see, some bodies turn blue. A lot of people are getting blue fingernails from it. Don't unbalance body chemistry. Silver's a microtrace metal. Get away from the metals and minerals. Really get into the botanicals, but also clean the sewer system. That's your lymph system. Remember that little commercial Lamisil where the little fungi opens a toe and jumps in and starts playing in your sewer system. So clean your sewer system out. If you've taken sulfa drugs or allergic to sulfa drugs, this is one of the biggest problems that medical doctors have created in people by using antibiotics. They've created a fungal proliferant, an aphrodisiac, if you will, to the fungal community. So if you have sulfur in your body, you're going to always have heavy fungal problems. Those with rheumatoid arthritis, a lot of the inflammatory problems have a lot of sulfur in them. A lot of people have sulfur in the gut, exacerbating IBS and everything else. So get rid of that fungus. Clean your lymph system. Go back to that, the 4-part series on your lymphatic system. Understand that well. And of course the kidney and adrenals are at the core doorway of that system. And that's a system you have to work on. I was asked another question about surgeries. You want to be on a raw food diet when you enter surgeries. And if you're fracturing a bone or you had trauma and you've had bones out of alignment or fractured and broken, you really want to be on a raw food program. And I highly suggest you pump the greens, kelp, excellent supplement, highest plant form base of calcium and iodine. And iodine, of course, trips the thyroid. Remember, the thyroid, but more especially the parathyroid gland, located above and on top of the thyroid glands, creates a hormone, parathyroid hormone, PTH, and that is parathormone. That parathyroid hormone is essential for your body to utilize calcium, and a lot of people have parathyroid weaknesses or pituitary weaknesses that control the parathyroid gland. So there's a lot of parathyroid weaknesses out there. You must pay attention to that gland. I do use glandulars to help people with those type of conditions because we don't know what herbs are good for the parathyroid, probably more the berries, which are good for all the glands. An endocrine gland formula would be good for that, but to get a faster, more powerful kick to calcium utilization and the repair of structure, you want to get a parathyroid glandular. That's a desiccated parathyroid tissue, kind of gross, but I'll tell you, man is so chronic that our loved ones, the animals, are helping us. So you have to look at it kind of differently maybe, but if not, you use botanicals. I would also use a good bone formula. We have a good bones formula I put together. Got a lot of comfrey and horsetail and all the good accelerators of healing of tissue, proliferators. Comfrey just can't be beat. The FDA always is traipsing off on isolates and then blaming the whole herb for isolate problems. And we'll get into that when we do one on herbs, because you should love and enjoy botanicals. I've used them for 40 years and our success rate is world known. We're renowned for what we do with your body. And I've had extreme scoliosis, old fractures, where the body just completely straightened the body, straightened old fractures, realigned itself skeletally. And so we've got some neat. Fox News ran a story on a quad we did like that. Amazing what your body can do, but you got to get it way up in the alkaline-forming foods. That's fruits and veggies, do a lot of green drinks and pumping green drinks. Another question was related to kidney stones. And you can take a magnesium and B6 if you're in stat need or you have a kidney stone problem right away. You can call the clinic and they will give you the dosages on that. But magnesium and B6 is about the quickest. You would also want to pump your body full of juices, all of the fruit juices. Get away from all the foods and really start getting astringent foods and clean your kidneys, because the problem is that you have kidney weakness and that your lymph system in the wall of the kidneys have backed up and you're creating calcium, probably oxalate stones. And that just shows you have inflammation in your kidneys and you want to fix your kidneys. Get off the milky products. These are horrible, big time former of kidney stones and stuff. And so handle your health in that way. I will periodically answer these questions as we go down the line here. Again, I've got a lot of videos to make here. I want to address the mucus conditions of the body, and I want to address the genetics in young people because the youth is facing serious genetic problems right now, and I want to show you how to fix them, okay? Real important that you guys fix your genetic weaknesses, especially if you're young and before you start to have children. You do not want to pass any more weaknesses or it's going to be a nightmare for some of you guys. So we already seeing that in here. The children coming in here is just loaded with cancers and mutations. And so let me show you how to fix that one. So till I do another one, it's a real pleasure. And thanks again for watching our videos. Thank you now. Bye-bye.